Okay, so as promised from last night, we will have overtime from Jacksonville hosting Tennessee. They're tied at 26, and I needed to do some stat calculation before I got started with the overtime. So let's just go through those because some of the statistical calculations, some of the determinations of whether a guy catches a ball or not, or his carry efficacy are affected by the number of carries or the number of receptions he's had. So we just need to go through this real quick. So at this point, Mariota, not a great day passing, only 50%, 16 to 32, 111 yards, one touchdown, two interceptions, a couple sacks at least. Blake Bortles significantly better. Let me see. That's like 5/8, which is what? It's a little under 2/3, so but he's above the 60% mark as far as completion percentage goes. 215 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, has not thrown an interception, but and of course let's go through the rushing stats. Murray 16 for 91. Henry 11 for 44. Murray still is going to be able to be a B inside runner and an A outside, at least for 4 more carries. Once he hits 20, he will be downgraded. Yeldon is well over his mark of 10 rushes, so he has been downgraded to a D, and that has affected his rushing here as he's gone up to 26 carries in this game, 36 yards. Not good. Bortles, on the other hand, 4 for 40. So he has had a really nice day, all things considered. Receiving Allen Robinson for the Jacksonville Jaguars, 8 for 66 is the best for both teams. Now he will not be able to he will not catch R balls from here on out. So anything that's got an R rating, he won't be able to. Allen Hurns will not either because he's only rated for 4. Allen Robinson is rated for 8 in the R column. So that's how it kind of like throttles down the ability for guys to get a bunch of catches. Who else? Harry Douglas with 3 for Tennessee is also getting that kind of treatment. Delaney Walker can get 4, so he still has 1 before that happens. Murray still has 1. Rashard Matthews has 2 because he has 2 receptions. So he's got 2 receptions before he loses his R stuff. So let's I'm gonna keep this right off here to the side, and we're gonna have to roll. First, let's get back to our full view. And so this is going to be 10 at JAX, week 1, OT. All right, so we've got to decide now. The way that I do this, again, for the kickoff, so the home team is always going to be the black die, away team white. The higher number when we do the original roll gets to kick off. Because usually in football nowadays, the home or the team that wins the coin toss defers. So that's kind of the way we do it. That's the way I do it. But for overtime, I say the team who has the higher total on the die, on their die, will receive because there is an advantage to getting the ball first. If you can get a touchdown on that first possession, you're in good shape. You will win the game. So it's going to be the home team winning, so Jacksonville will receive. So 15-minute period here for overtime, and if Jacksonville doesn't score a touchdown, Tennessee will get the ball. That means if Jacksonville scores a safety, we've already seen 2 safeties in this game, but if they get a safety, get a field goal, Tennessee does get a chance. So at 15 minutes, it will be Suckup kicking off. We'll get this overtime underway. from, I believe it's called Everbank Field nowadays. And the kickoff, not a very good one. Suck Up is AAA, so that does go 63 yards. And Jacksonville, if it's inside the 5, if a kickoff is, they can allow it to bounce into the end zone and take the touchback, and that's what they will. So that goes 63 yards, then into end zone, bounces for a touchback. So they're not going to try and bust a return here. They will take it at their own 25. Okay, so we're going to go back to the typical play calling chart we've been using. And so first we will roll on the tablet here, and they're going to go for the jugular right here. 66 means a long pass, and it'll be against a safe defense. So, and they will be throwing, Jacksonville will be throwing to Allen Robinson. So, he can't get an R completion, but there's many others that he can get, such as the, if they go to XL. So let's see. 66. I assume for overtime you go with the fourth quarter, and so, but it doesn't matter. All quarters is the home team on offense. They are, so it's going to be evades a heavy pass rush. Quarterback dumps off to alternate receiver, so this will be Robinson for Q plus 4 yards. So Bortles gets a first down. He's 11, and you add 4, so that's 15 pass to... Okay, so first and 10 from the 40. So he had to kind of dump it off to the short receiver. Now this will be a short pass against a safe defense. Throwing it here to Allen Hurns. Oh no, Marquise Lee. I beg my pardon here. And it'll be an unusual result. Play clock expires, so that will be a delay of game. So the clock runs down to the 14:30. We'll say that'll be first and 15 from the 35. Okay, so an outside run here. Wait, 23. That is an... Yeah, we're going to say first, and yeah, that'll be an inside run. My bad. Sometimes you try to guess what these plays are going to be called. Okay, so an inside run with Yeldon. 16. Now he is D-rated, so this will be a 1-yard loss. So they're backing up here down to the 14-minute mark. 2nd and 11, or 16 from the 34. And that will be a screen pass. Screen pass against a pass defense. So they're going to be expecting the pass here. And it will be to Mercedes. Well, no, it won't be Mercedes Lewis. It'll be Ben Koyak here. Another unusual result. 54, 6-yard gain, or 6 yards on the pass play, and then the gain check. So potentially a fumble here. That would not be good. Let's see what happens with this. 63 is D-rated to Parrish Cox is rated 1, so they will retain possession. So Koyak will get his second reception. Fumble recovered by Koyak. And that will make it 3rd and 10 from the 40-yard line. So 3rd and long with a 26. That'll be a short pass play against a pass defense. And they'll be throwing to, looks like Yeldon. 22, B or E, are they two pass? B is not, Bayard is not, so E. They're on the Jacksonville side, so well, Stafford is a 1, so that is going to be a no. So we go to XS, so a chance for maybe more here for Yeldon. 21 is tackle B, a 0 pass. Parnell is 1. So that'll be a 10-yard gain. They're going to get the first down. Snakes through the defense. 10 pass to Yeldon. So down to the 13-minute mark. 1st and 10 from the 50. Can Jacksonville pull off a touchdown here and take this game outright? Let's see what happens. 45 screen pass. This will be to, well, this would be to Koyak again. I'm gonna choose Lee instead. We'll stick with Koyak, even though it's not going to be particularly realistic. We will stick with that. I don't want to vary too much. So safe. Chances are it could be incomplete anyway. 22, single A. Yeah, that's going to be incomplete for Bortles. Second and 10. Inside run. This is going to be this will be against a safe defense. It's going to be Yeldon. 65 is H, a 0 run. H is Derek Morgan. He's a 1. 1 yard gain. And so 12-15, it's going to be a 3rd and 9 from the 49 of Tennessee. At this point, they might just be willing to take a coffin corner here. So this will be so 3rd and 9, 31, a short pass again. And this will be against a pass defense. Throwing to Robinson. H is not a 2 pass, so not, let's see. Rated 0. It's going to be, no, Bryce McCain is not, so it's going to be a single die. They will not pick up the first down. 2 yard gain. To pass a Robinson. So the drive is going to stall here at the 47. It will be 4th and 7 from the 47. And they're going to have to coffin corner this guy. And it'll be Brad Nortman out to do that. Coffin corner rating of B. 16. Punt bounces to a stop at the 11-yard line. So Nortman, coffin punt to 11-yard line, no return, and that's going to be, what is that? That's a 36-yard punt. And that's where Tennessee will take over. 11:30 left in the game. I said before, I wonder if this... I feel like this game could end in a tie, the way that these teams are playing. Okay, Tennessee takes over. .52 short pass against a safe defense. Be throwing to Delaney Walker. Actually, no, it'll be Philip Supernaw. I saw his number wrong. 24 C or E, 0 pass. Cyprian is not. Well, Scuda is in on first down, and he is a 0 pass. We're going to go to the XS column. 66 is X grade greater than 0. Mariota is. He's a 6. It's going to be an open field go. So he breaks into the open field. Let's see where this goes. It could be anything from a long gain to who knows. 31, 26 yards plus 2, 28-yard gain. So Mariota completes one. What do we say? 28 pass to Walker. And that's a first down. To the 39. 16, they'll go with an inside run. This will be DeMarco Murray against the pass defense. .33 NB, the 0 run. Yes, he is. 1 yard loss. That's a shame. Tajay Sharp. .26 will be an outside run with Murray. Well, let's see. Yeah, they're not going to outside run Anthony Fasano here, that's for sure. Outside run against a run defense. .44 center run 0. No, Ben Jones is not. Is NB a run 0? Again, Tajay Sharp is 0. He's no gain. 3rd and 11, and this is going to take us down to the 10-minute mark. There'll be a medium pass against a pass defense. Going to be throwing it at Delaney Walker here. And actually, I remember here I said Supernaw, not Walker. So 56 F. F is... well, and 3rd down will be Devon House. He's not a 0 pass. It's going to be a 10-yard loss as he gets swarmed under. And Mariota -10 sacked for a bunch of times here by House. And so this will be 4th and 21 from the 28. Let me see. Yep. And their only recourse is going to be to do a routine punt. Kern comes out. 36 average. That'll be a 44-yard kick. Fair catch. So Jacksonville will take over with 9:15 left, right? Yep. And that goes from 28, 38, 48, 42, 32, and 28-yard line of Jacksonville. As I've said before, well, this is going to be inside. Well, no, this is going to be a short pass against blitz. Since Jacksonville is a -4 in the play calling department here, they get a short pass out of this instead of an inside run. And so this will be thrown to Mercedes Lewis, correct? Let's see. Yes, because Julius Thomas is injured. 26. Quarterback's a 0 pass because it's close and late. Quarterback pressured and sacked by Arakpo. Seven-yard. So that's going to take it down to 8:45, 2nd and 17. 21. Do either of these teams want this game? All right, well, this is going to be a medium pass against a pass defense. It's going to go to Allen Robinson. Another 26s. Are I or A 2 pass? I is Jarrell Casey. He's not. Neither is Arakpo when he's playing there. We could do either one. So that's going to be a no. Jason McCourty is not either. Quarterback finds the seam in the zone. Q, which is going to be 11 plus 3. So that's a 14-yard gain. And that goes to Robinson. He's been a favorite target here today for Bortles. That makes it 3rd and 3 from the 35. Much more manageable. That will be an outside run with Yeldon against run. 43s. Tackle A, run 0. Kelvin Beachum is, oh, goodness gracious, they can't catch a break. 4-yard loss. It would have been a first down if he had not been a run 0, but Beachum is. And Yeldon goes down 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Hi, black and blue. I'll tell you, this is like football futility. So Yeldon loses 4, and it's going to be 4th and 7 from the 31 of Jacksonville. Can either team win this? 7:45 left in overtime. Oh, I don't need to roll that. This will be a routine punt for Nortman, and it's going to be an unusual result on the punt. So what happens here? 52-yard punt with a penalty. And the 15 is going to be a false start, so that nullifies, that doesn't even happen. False start. And that is end A, which we will call Ben. So that's going to make it 4th and 12 from the 26. And I am getting kind of warm down here. 42. Another potential penalty. The refs are getting involved here, so that's going to be a 49-yard punt. It is returnable. 36, subtract 2 from Mariani, so that'd be a 6-yard return. So Nortman, 49 punt. Mariani, 6 return, and then the flag on the return, 55-9. Return team, 10 yards, end of return. Okay, so 49, so 26, 36, 46, 44, 34, 20. So the 25, 31 will subtract 10. So Penn, return team, block, and back, 10. Not going to worry about who. Just want to try and... so this will be Tennessee ball with, let's see, 7:45. We'll say 7:30 left. 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line, Tennessee. .34 outside run versus a safe defense. DeMarco Murray. Can someone break something here and make it interesting? Field goal will win it at this point. 0 run. Scuda is not. No gain. Let me see. We've got Tennessee with 1, 2. It's his third. There's only one more run left for Murray. Before he gets downgraded, so it's going to make it even tougher. 7 minutes. 2nd and 10. 32. Boy. This will be Derrick Henry. Of course, he's already been downgraded too. Good gracious. No one wants to do anything here. I'm tempted to. I don't want to take over the play calling, but man, I'll tell you, when you do by a chart, I'm tempted to just go with the special situations chart, and from here on out, I'm going to do it. So 32. Let's see. Well, Jacksonville got the ball first. We have to let Tennessee roll this one out. If nobody does, I'm going to go to special situations. If that doesn't get it done, nothing will. So I'm going to go to like A or B or C. I don't know which one. 12 on a 2nd and 10. What defense? That's a run defense. So outside run against a run, and it's going to be Henry, who is an F. It's about 53. Not the home team. Two-yard loss. .630. 3rd and 12 from the 19. Well, now we get to roll off the 3rd and long chart. So 34 on 3rd and long is going to be a medium pass. So against a pass defense, this throw is going to go to Rashard Matthews. End A, 2 pass. Hell no, not in this case. Rashard Matthews is a 1. He would be 2 on the other side. Incomplete. Okay, so that leaves us 6:15. 4th and 12 on the 19, and it's going to be a Kern punt. So we're going to switch to special situation here. 34, routine punt, +1 to average, returnable. So plus, that's going to be 45. Punt, we get another penalty too. Return 31 will be -4 for Rashad Green. So it's going to be a 2 return for Green. And then we get the penalty on the return. 46. I'm glad I got that here because that can't be turned. That's going to be another blocking foul, which hurts field position. 29, 39, 49. 29, 39, 49, 41. 36, Green to 38, 28-yard line. Let's get this written down here. JAX. It'll be 6 minutes. 1st and 10. Their own 28. Penalty return. Block in back. 10 yards. All right, so we're going to go with chart B now for the Jaguars here. 64. Could have gone A, B, C, or anything. Long pass play against pass defense. And this throw will go to Marquise Lee. 24. NDA or NB2 pass. Neither of them are. Potential interception. Bortles is a 3. 21. I think that's an interception. We may get a decision out of this game. 21. 3 or more. Bortles is a 3. That was a long pass, but it's gonna be a 44-yard interception by Damian Stafford. Basically a punt. Now let's see what happens when we roll the return for the defensive back. 52, that's a long return. Let's roll on long return interception. 25, a 29-yard return. So it looks like Tennessee might be set up here for something. So that'll get us down to 5:45. Be 1st and 10 for Tennessee. A big-time turnover. But 38-48, 42-32, and 4 is 28. So 28, 38, 48. So the 43-yard line of Jacksonville, they only need maybe 15 yards, and we're going to go to the A chart. So 15 is going to be outside run for Tennessee. It'll be going to be Murray. Outside run. This is his last outside run opportunity, with it being an A. Against a safe defense. And it's going to be, well, he may get another one because this is going to be an unusual result. What happens here? 25, 2-yard gain, penalty, injury. The ultimate of second season. How many rolls can you do in a single play? It's like, actually, no, you could add a video review in here as well, and then you could end up with 15 or 20 rolls in a single play if you really wanted to. But I'm getting a little frustrated here because I'm getting down to brass tacks, and I can't gain any yards with either of these teams. They are pathetic. It's like trying to cut your toenails with a plastic knife. My word. It's like boring. It's like a worm boring into the middle of my head right now. I'm just, whew, it's warm, it's humid. It's a fun game, but I'll tell you what, this is just, ugh. Who even ran that? So it's, well, let's hold on. Murray, we've got to see what the penalty is. I don't even want to write it down here if it's not going to count. 36. Well, it's going to be an offside, so that will run 15 seconds off the clock, but it'll be a penalty offside. Penalty on the defense. So that's at least, that's making some progress towards a resolution. Offsides. And they do list J, who is going to be Malik. No, it'll be Al Woods. No, it will be Jackson. I was wrong. Okay. So down to 5:30 because you don't roll back that clock that runs. So 1st and 5 from the 38. If anybody misses a field goal here, there's going to be some, you know what to pay. And then an 11. Can we roll some more that are unproductive? That's an inside run. It's actually not a bad call here in this 1st and 5. We can take that. And Murray did not get his 20th carry. So it's against a blitz. So let's see what happens here. Actually, I'm wrong. It's going to be Derrick Henry. Even better because he's a C. 43. It shouldn't matter here. EA 0. That's going to be in this game with a 5. It's going to be Rashard Matthews. He is a 0. 1 yard gain. That gets us to 5 minutes. 2nd and 4 from the 37. Decide or die for... No, because you don't use straight up 50-50 chance on the video review. Okay, so here we go. 2nd and 4. I don't really want to use B here because I'm not going with special situation at this point because they don't really need to advance a whole lot. But 64 in a 2nd and 1 to 10 is going to be a medium pass. And it's going to be to Rashard Matthews as well. Medium pass against a safe defense. Can Mariota complete a pass here? 41. Going to check if somebody is a 2, and none of these players on this team, on either team, are any good, so none of them are like 2. NB is Tajay Sharp. He is not a 2, so it's going to be incomplete. We need some 0 checks, which might help. But, defense being 0 would be great. Any guys... If you can get that, that's the holy grail at this point here. So 3rd and 4, and I forgot to write this down. Give me a second. 3rd and 4 from the 37. Let's see, what would this be? That'd be a 54-yarder for Suckup. Be just inside. I mean, but you'd have a tough. There's no guarantees there. So 44 with a 3rd and 4. It's a short pass. That call makes sense. Against a safe defense. That makes sense. And a throw towards Rashard Matthews makes sense. Can they get something to work here? 32. Is end a 2 pass? Rashard Matthews in positive territory. It goes from a 1 up to a 2. He is a 2 pass. It'll be an XS roll. Let's see what happens here. They have a chance at a 1st down. I don't want to say anything. 54 is B, Tashawn Gibson, a 2 pass. He is not. No room to run. Oh, that's if he is. He's not a 2 pass. He's a 1. Breaks free, 12-yard gain. That's what we're looking for. Any team to get some kind of a gain that gets them into relatively easy field goal range. 12 pass to Matthews. First down. And I think we're going to go to the D column, which is like heavy conservative here, and see if we can get them a victory. So that takes it down to the 25, and we are down to 4:15 on the clock. 1st and 10. 25 of Jacksonville. And we get a 62, which is going to be an outside run. That's a great way to lose yardage, but let's see. So it'll be Murray, and this will be his last run. He still has not got, well, it's not his last, but his last at A. And it's against a blitz. We'll see. They might be able to do some damage here. Wait, let me see. Is that against, yes, it is against a blitz. 56. Is K a run to? Yannick Ngakwe is not. XR column. Another roll. 33 is NC, a run 0. Delaney Walker. Let's see. Yeah, Delaney Walker is NC. He's not. That's to be a 9-yard gain for Murray. To the outside. Oh, and I also... let's see. Did I say X? I think it was XROB on the short pass. Yeah, so I messed up the timing just a bit here. Incomplete, and then he goes out of bounds under 5 minutes to play. This is going to be at 4:30. That's okay. All right, so we're at 4 minutes. They're going to let the clock run a bit. 2nd and 1 from the 16. This is really chip shot range at this point. They're going to stick with, and so they're going to go inside run. Now Murray, no, it's not going to be Murray. It's going to be Henry, but Murray is downgraded to a D. And outside he'd be C. Henry's already been downgraded, so this is going to be an inside run for him against a run defense. And this may be their last play before they try the field goal. 52. F is Pozluzny. He is not a run 0. No gain penalty. Oh, that's not what they needed right now. 15. Offense 5 yards. False start. Not good. So the clock never starts. Tackle A, that's Luan. Second and 6 from the 21. Guess what? So what does that make it? 7 would make it 38-yard field goal. We're kicking this sucker. Let's send it. 2nd and 6 from 21. It's going to be suck up. So what is this? 21 up to 28. 38-yard field goal attempt. And for a quad A, as long as it's not an unusual roll, he makes it, and it's 11. It is good. That is your game. So Tennessee's coach decides before they find a way to fumble, suffer 2 consecutive sacks, who knows what, interception, whatever, they're going to make that a final. And so the final in overtime, Tennessee wins 29, Jacksonville 26. Tough loss for the home team. And that was, let's see, so we had 4 minutes remaining. We'll take 5-second runoff, 3:55 to close it out. And that is that. Apologies for the little bit of unsatisfaction there for a bit, but I'll tell you, there's going to be some of that because the NFL in general can be a tough league to score in. There's a lot of mediocrity at the quarterback position, and so you just don't get a whole lot of stuff. 21 plus 17 equals 38. Yeah, that's what yep. That is it. So, I honestly didn't think that was going to end with somebody winning. I guess it took a Bortles interception, his first of the game, to put the nail in the coffin for the Jaguars, but that's a tough loss to have, I guess, at that point. You're just probably really tired. I'm really tired, and I'm not even playing the game. I'm not sitting there running balls and blocking guys and trying to tackle. But your hero, I guess, would be Damian Stafford with an interception is, well, you might also get Murray. Murray might be over 100 yards after that run. He had a -1, so I think he just finished just under 100. 20 carries. Not a pretty game in as far as these two teams played a rather sloppy game. It's definitely a game you would expect out of the AFC South because that division has been. I'll tell you what, Black and Blue. That is a dilemma that you always have, and I think Mike Mularkey may have made the decision I made. I mean, he might have even tried kicking it on first down. I don't know. Coaches don't like kicking on first down, especially traditional coaches. I would say a traditional coach would want to get it to third, and then because of the hold on a second. I just want to do. Let me take it where I can look into the camera here. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of adjustment. Try and there we go. All right. Not that you guys want to see my ugly face, but that's okay. Football is a game. Well, baseball is a game of traditions too, but baseball has probably been even more forward-thinking in ways than football. Football is all about. Well, it's changing, but for a long time it has been about run it down your throat. You got to smash mouth it. You got to pound it down. And so I've heard from my coach's coach that if you fumble on third down, if you fumble on fourth down on a field goal, then you're going to get screwed. But if you fumble that field goal attempt or something like that on third down, then I'll get to keep the ball and I'll still get to kick it again on fourth or something like that. This is how football works. It's he said that he said that he said, and so I believe it or it's he did it and it worked once, so I'm going to do it because it worked once. Look at the Wildcat formation and how that took Miami one season where it was actually just a couple games where it worked really well. Then everybody rolls out the Wildcat, and then everybody game plans for the Wildcat for their defense, and then the Wildcat isn't effective anymore. It's only effective for the first couple games that any team uses it because they just don't have film on it. Once they have film on it and know what you're going to do, the run-pass option will eventually get this way too. Once teams realize, run-pass option is a little different because there's always the element of you're making the read, but I would imagine there will be a time in the very near future, maybe even as soon as this season, where coaches will teach their quarterbacks. Coaches will teach the quarterbacks of their defense how to set up their team and the players on the defense how to set it up to mask what they're doing. Make the quarterback believe that it's one type of play, and then you immediately, then you've got him at your mercy because you know exactly where he's going with it. He doesn't have that kind of analytical skill anymore. The quarterbacks of today's college football coming out do not have the skill set to make a quick adjustment if they were to realize that, oh, I'm reading the outside linebacker. Oh, he's coming to play the run, so I have a pass open. Well, he doesn't realize maybe that the middle linebacker or the free safety has made a run into that space that he's going to throw that quick pass, and you're done. They just don't. Tom Brady can do that. Tom Brady would eat that up. He would know exactly what you're going to do if you're doing that. And I have my issues with Tom Brady and some of the ways that he came about things, but this thing with the moving to college, the only reason that colleges have done it, that have been successful, this is I feel like college coaches have not been desperate enough to learn to game plan against it. And I think part of it is that they all know that this is their ticket to constantly be good, is that they need to have an offense that fits players that they'll only have for 2 or 3 seasons. It's rare that they get a guy in there for 4 seasons. So instead they have an offense that's relatively easy to translate between players. And, all they have to do is look for the player coming in. They aren't looking, most colleges are not looking for the Andrew Luck build, this year it's the Josh Allen for the Bills. Now, he was at Wyoming. He was like your prototypical big arm quarterback. Can't hit the broadside of a barn, but, from 20 feet away, but, he's got all of these things, and that's what colleges aren't looking for anymore. What they want is speed. They want someone who can basically be a trick play guy, I think, for the most part. Can run, can throw, makes a good decision, reliable when he makes that decision, very decisive. That's probably what they want most. But I think the NFL, the trouble that the NFL poses to that kind of offense is that there will be teams that find the diamond in the rough, and there will always be, as much as I will say that you don't have the quarterbacks coming out of college that can supply the NFL with, your Montana, Elway, Marino, Kelly, Brady is a rarity find in the late rounds. That was, and again, that has some of that has to do with the team that was built around him in the early years. And then as that team started to age out and Belichick sort of pared away the guys that wanted more money, then it came down to using systems to teach Brady, and to assist Brady in reading the defense And I think Brady is a smart guy, and he's learned from that. But there's always an element that the Patriots, the Patriots were one step ahead of their opponents. However you want to look at that. You know, someone in New England would just say, "Well, everybody cheats." Someone outside of New England would say, "Well, yeah, not in that way." And I don't know. Catch them. I mean, that's how you got to do it. You got to catch them, adjust. You know what they're doing. Just change. But anyway, yeah, just exactly what you guys are saying. The player development. I really think the NFL is going to have to hold the NCAA's feet to the fire, and say, listen, we're strongly considering implementing a minor league, and we may go the way of baseball, which is that we're going to draft kids out of high school, and we're going to develop them in a league where we can teach them route progressions and route trees and how to read a defense and how to critically think, which you guys aren't teaching them. And, it may suit college football okay, because I don't think college football is developing the players that the NFL needs. And so I think you have a guy like Josh Allen who didn't have a lot of his kinks worked out. Maybe the NFL will be successful. The Bills, maybe not. You have guys like Jeff George with rocket arms that never really find their full potential that they could. Then you have a guy like Brett Favre who is, big arm, willing to take risks. He got a Super Bowl ring. He had a lot of seasons where I think people feel like he could have done even more if he had been a little more careful. But, you have a wide array of things that can happen with any player. You could have, and you're getting into a time in the NFL where you just don't know, because you've got Manning already retired. You've got Brady probably maybe the end of this season. Maybe he'll try another season. You always chance, if you're New England, if he's going to be effective in what he does. Can he sustain into the later years? I mean, it's one thing to be Jaromir Jagr, and I don't know what he does, but he can go into late 40s. Can Brady do it? Quarterback is a position that doesn't demand as much physically, especially when the rules have been tinkered to make the quarterback a safer position out there on the field. So can Brady survive? We'll see. I mean, there's still other quarterbacks out there that are, and you have the young guns, the Goffs, the Wentzes, anybody who says Nick Foles, I'm going to smack you, but no, maybe he's good enough in that offense until teams adjust. You still have the potential for Andrew Luck if he figures out his injury, his health, keeps himself healthy. You have him. Blake Bortles, no. I mean, he's okay. He's basically, you can make him maybe Alex Smith, and with a great team around him, he's going to, he got Jacksonville to the championship game. Of course, Pittsburgh kind of laid an egg in the division round, and Buffalo barely showed up in the wild card. So it almost was a red carpet laid out there for Jacksonville, and it was just the only team that stood in their way, I guess, was New England. But it's going to be very tough for any quarterback named Bortles to beat Tom Brady, regardless of where it's at or who you've got on your team. But and you've got who else was I going to say there? There's another quarterback. Well, Roethlisberger came to mind. Another guy that's Rodgers was hurt last year. I shouldn't leave those two guys out of the mix. But, those guys are starting to move up the age ladder. There's no guarantees. But anyway, I'm getting a little bit off topic here it's still football, but these are two teams that, Jacksonville's not so much run based. They're a passing team, and they did throw the ball in this game quite a bit. I think Bortles darn near had 50 attempts, if not more. Did it up with one interception though, and that is the difference in this game. So, continued talk here in the chat about Darnold and that the NCAA are at the mercy of the programs that are handing out the scholarships, and again, and he says if they find a college-style dual threat guy like J.T. Barrett, they're going to take him. And, yeah. And I don't think the NFL has much interest in J.T. Barrett as a developmental guy coming out of high school, really. I mean, I don't see any reason why you would think of him as being the type of quarterback that would benefit from seasoning under professionals and getting professional coaching. I think, and Barrett is a bigger guy, so maybe, but I think you have to start finding guys that have the motion, that have the footwork, that have an arm that matches that, and you need to start saying to them, we're willing to pay you $200,000 a year for the next 4 years to basically just sit here and watch. I don't know, maybe $500,000 a year is what they're going to need to do for the quarterbacks, but they're going to have to figure something out. Because as of right now, the NCAA, the thing that they have going for them is that colleges have a fan base that is rooted in the education system and living there, being on campus for 4 years. Sure, you have Ohio State fans that didn't go to Ohio State. Certainly, that's the case. Ohio State has a lot of fans because a lot of people have attended Ohio State over the years, and including the students that are currently there, but they've got a huge fan base. Same thing with Michigan, same thing with Penn State, same thing with USC, UCLA, all of the big programs, Florida, Alabama. You get, now I went to a D3 school, so I have an affinity for them, and I would love to watch their games. I've thought about buying the D3 streaming package, but it's a little expensive. But if I lived closer, I would go to their games. I'm a Penn State fan, and again, it's still, I do have a connection to Penn State because it's a state I grew up in. NFL, it's a little more tenuous. I mean, it's professional. There's very little loyalty from players. There's very little, what do I want to say? The NFL is somewhat sterile in a way. Like, you really just, now I would say with the Bills are a team, at least as a fan, where I really do like the players from past Bills teams. They seem to hang out at the stadium. They stay in town for a while. I don't know if it's that way. Like a lot of Cowboys guys, like the big stars of the Cowboys, they're off muddling around, hanging out with, Joe Buck and Jim Nance on game day, and I don't think that they're necessarily out there in their at the tailgates. Like, I mean, Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, they have tailgates right at the stadium. Fans can walk by, wander by. It's a pretty sweet thing there. But I think that is like maybe Green Bay does some of that. I really just, those are kind of two college atmospheres that I know of. I feel like a lot of the other teams are a bit stale and a bit, sterile is maybe the word. Yeah. NCAA says, can't say, don't take those guys or we will sanction you. Right. I mean, and sorry, I didn't mean to pick on your team, black and blue. I'm not an Ohio State fan, but I didn't really necessarily mean to pick on them because I can see your icon there. It's not because of that. I just think of Ohio State as one of the dominant teams here from the last bunch of years, and so I think that's where you only root for the uniform of the NFL team. Yeah, I know a lot of Steelers fans, a lot of Cowboys fans, a lot of around where I live, Eagles fans. That's another team that's got a very ardent fan base, but again, I don't know how much. I'm probably underestimating the loyalty of the fan bases in the NFL, but I do know that this past year, with all of the kneeling crap, that there were a lot of people that were just like, I'm not interested in it anymore. And with college football as a fallback, and I think the because college football for the longest time was rooted in things like the wishbone and the option quarterback, that I just don't think there'll ever be a problem with college football relying on athletic quarterbacks more than big arms or good arms. Whereas I think the NFL, I think everybody expects that their team is going to be bringing along the next great quarterback that leads their team, that can throw for 300 yards passing every game, 40 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. That's what they want, and that's the holy grail. And I think if teams start settling for less than that, I think fans will just go, well, I can watch that with my college team. Why am I going to pay big time money to go see a pro game where, like, they're kind of, I think in a lot of places they've sort of cut down on the tailgating. And colleges, you can tailgate probably from Friday night up through the game, and you can, I'll tell you what, there is nothing more fun for me than when I go to a Bills game, just pounding a couple beers and being all happy. Doesn't matter what the outcome is, but I'm going to have a big smile on my face because and I'm going to root them on. It's going to be a lot of fun. It could be cold, could be rain, could be snow, whatever, but I'm just going to, and the tailgate is half of it. And if you're the NFL, it sucks from that regard. So, so there's Derek ribbing on the Ohio State guy. But anyway, yeah. So this is going to be for the next. It might. It might go on forever. This kind of, I don't know. I don't know what the NFL is going to do. To me, it just seems as simple as they probably need a minor league, and finding a way to eat a couple bucks in the short term in order to do that, in order to reap the rewards down the road, in that they might have a vibrant group of quarterbacks that are coming in. Maybe you end up, instead of having 2 or 3 that can really challenge for turning their team. And it really, a lot of it has to do with the salary cap now too. After a couple of years of a guy, you just can't afford. You can't afford to pay a Joe Flacco what he's making. You can't afford. I mean, how long before Minnesota is upset and distraught that they paid Kirk Cousins what they did? The XFL. Hey, there's a couple leagues coming. I think they see what's coming and they sense a potential opening, and I don't think it's going to work out for them, but you never know. But all right, well, I should get to bed. Thanks for tuning in. The ending was probably better than the the overtime before it, but we got through it, and Tennessee wins 29-26 on a late Ryan Suckup field goal. So maybe some golf this weekend. I probably want to put this game away for a few days, let it percolate, let it sort of, let myself develop the urge to play it some more. I think just the ending of this game, the final quarter and a half was it's just left me needing a breath. So hey, you're welcome anytime, Black and Blue. I don't know if you're gonna like tabletop golf. You're welcome to check out the baseball, the golf on the channel here. There's some horse racing coming in. You may only be a football guy, and that's cool too. So I think it's Chicago and Miami will be the next game. So the Bears and the Dolphins that we play, whenever that is, probably next week sometime. So till then, have a good one. We'll see you soon.